Hi guys, Yasmo here, and today I have for you a tip that will literally save your character's life in PvE, in PvP, in many different situations. Doesn't matter if you're playing hardcore or softcore, this tip will save your life, and it basically pertains to using specific consumables and using specific hotkeys. So if you didn't know, you can actually bind every single one of these slots on this radial menu. So if you go to your options and if you go to controls, you can scroll down and you can see the wheel. On the wheel you can bind every single one of these slots to whatever hotkey you want, and on those you can actually put different consumables. So if you press on customize in here, then you can click on consumables and you can put all kinds of different things. You can basically just grab it and put it in whatever slot you want, and that way, for example, if you want to use elixir, let's say I want to run dungeons and I want to just run them quickly, I can just put, like, let's say potent third eye elixir that gives me some extra dodge to make my character much more tankier, and it will give me the bonus experience, and anytime I see it running out I just press a hotkey and I have it activated, so I don't need to go and search for where this exact elixir is. So that's one way you can use these hotkeys, but the much more impactful way is using them for things like Cursed Scroll of Chaos, Curative Elixir, and Scroll of Escape. So first let's talk about Scroll of Escape, which I don't have in here because this is a softcore character and Scroll of Escape is available only in hardcore. So Scroll of Escape is basically like an instant portal out. Instead of casting a portal, instead of doing like exit dungeon and casting like a channeling portal where you're gonna teleport outside of the dungeon, Scroll of Escape teleports you out instantly. This is very useful, and recently there was a situation where a player, Wurio, was fighting Lilith, and he was like, fuck, I'm out of potions, I'm not gonna win this fight, and he tried to portal out, and he ended up like clicking the wrong thing, and he just told Lilith to halt, right? He just basically said, wait, to Lilith, and Lilith killed him. It was a hilarious situation, but you don't want to end up like that, so you want to bind your Scroll of Escape and bind your curative elixir and bind your Scroll of Chaos. So I'm going to show you the ones that I have here. So the Cursed Scroll of Chaos basically teleports you to a random location in the region in the PvP zones. Every now and then you might want to go into a PvP zone. For example, you get 5 grim rewards here if you kill the boss in this PvP area, so you might want to go in here, but sometimes there's going to be a situation where you're going to encounter a player or even a group of players, and you see, okay, they're level 100, you're level 50, and you're like, okay, I'm just fucked, right? There's nothing I can do, I'm just gonna die. So what do? You press this scroll, and if you don't have it on a hotkey, it's gonna be very difficult. So I have it bound to Control 2 here. So let's go into the PvP area and I'm gonna show you how it works. It's basically gonna teleport me into a random area instantly, and you can see how it works in action. So let's go in here. We are in some random area in the middle of a fight, doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna press it, instantly teleported away, right? So it instantly moves you to some random area in this PvP zone, and it works in both PvP zones. It's gonna keep you in the same PvP zone, but it's gonna teleport you to a random place in it. So that's number one way how you can escape from other players. There are also other scrolls, and you get these scrolls from a vendor and you purchase them for PvP resources. So it's very handy to do even if you don't do PvP, just if you're passing through this zone, so that you can be a little bit safer. So this is the vendor. It sells the Cursed Scrolls, and it sells the Cursed Scroll of Recklessness that increases your movement speed. That can be an extra escape. These scrolls have cooldown, right? So this is now on 4-minute cooldown, and they have 5-minute cooldown. So you can also use the movement speed if you need. They cost a little bit of these resources. They're red dust, right? They cost a little bit of red dust, but not much. And there's also Scroll of Tranquility that decreases damage taken from players. So you can use all of these in combination. Just keybind them to something and make sure you remember the hotkey to really quickly escape from a sticky situation. And now let's talk about another resource that is super underused. This is extremely useful in nightmare dungeons, and this is a must-have in hardcore. If you're playing in hardcore and if you're doing nightmare dungeons, you need this on a hotkey. Like, if you don't have this on a hotkey, you're gonna die. You're gonna end up in a situation where you get CC'd, you use Unstoppable, you get CC'd again, you have Unstoppable proc from some item that you have, like from an aspect, right? You get CC'd again and your ability still didn't come off cooldown. you're gonna die. But if you have the curative elixir, you're gonna be able to break the CC. This makes you unstoppable for 1 second. So basically, as you use it, it's gonna cleanse all of the CC, and then it increases resistances to poisons and other negative effects. So for example, like bleed and stuff like that, and chill probably, and other just debuffs on you by 50%. And that will make you just be able to get out of stun, get out of freeze, get out of any other CC that is gonna basically hold your character down and kill you. So this is something that you wanna have hotkeyed. I have it on control 1, so at any point, if my conceal is on cooldown and I'm gonna get CC'd and I'm gonna die, instead of dying, I can just press the curative elixir and just get out of the situation, right? It makes you unstoppable for 1 second, which is enough to like press dash or teleport as a sork or use whatever other ability just to get out of there. This elixir, by the way, is craftable. However, it does require that you first finish a quest. I don't remember which quest exactly it is. I think it might be one of the quests that is related to the campaign. It might not be. I don't exactly remember it. I tried to find information about it, but people basically don't talk about it. It's not really on the radar for a lot of players, but it is super useful. So if you've done that quest, basically at some point you're going to encounter a quest that tells you to do some tasks. You complete the quest and you get like a recipe that you take to an alchemist, and then alchemist can craft this for you. So you can craft as many of these as you want, as long as you have the resources, and it's super useful. So that's it. Hopefully this has been helpful and it's gonna help you stay alive in some sticky situations. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.